October is also National Domestic Violence Action Month, and our first group of guests are here to educate us about domestic violence and the partnerships created for survivors. Welcome Nadia Van Adder from Crystal Judson Family Justice Center and Kelly Robinson from Our Sister's House. Thank you both so much for being here today. Really appreciate it. How are you?
Good, thanks for having us.
I'm excited to talk about action strategies and partnerships. So thank you so much. I think, Kelly, I'll just start with you. Are you seeing an increase in the need around gender-based violence in our organizations, and how does that relate to the political climate?
Yes, thanks for having me this morning. Yes, we are. Domestic violence is at an all-time high right now. The cases are becoming more heinous and complex, and with funding being cut, with the current president administration saying that domestic violence is not a criminal act, is just really having a detrimental effect on how, and making sure people understand how serious and aware they need to be about domestic violence is, and particularly intimate partner violence, and how women of all nationalities, all economic stripes, it impacts everyone. And so we really need to be intentional in making sure survivors and victims know that help is available.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Kelly. And certainly as, the executive director for Our Sister's House, you're probably, well versed with putting together that income quilt to support your programs and the work that you do. And so losing some of that expected, federal funding is hard, because now you've got to, put together more pieces for your income quilt to continue to do that work. So
exactly.
I appreciate you highlighting that that concern and that need still being, very, very hard in our community.
Yes.
Nadia, again, appreciate you, interim director, of the Crystal Judson Family Justice Center. So much important, great work that you do in and for, our community as well. Are there ways that you're seeing things impact your work and the work that your team's doing? Also kind of same question that we had, for Kelly, those constraints with, maybe federal funding or just the broader kind of political climate with so much more polarization.
Yeah, like Kelly said, there's concerns around the federal funding, and so the idea of, how do we continue to show up and do this work? Are we going to have money to pay team members? I think we have team members that are starting to feel fatigued because we're seeing such high numbers, we're seeing lethality with cases, and so both of our teams are operating, at max capacity. And so them being able to show up each day can be really challenging because there's a lot going on. But we're also seeing things like if other areas are impacted around funding, such as food or housing or other resources, a lot of our clients are struggling to even meet basic needs and those things, which cause additional stress. Or survivors that, don't have citizenship, concerned about, can I access care? Is there going to be concerns that ICE is going to get involved? And so we're really seeing everything be magnified and everything just be a lot scarier and more unpredictable.
And are you seeing, again, a little bit with that more economic uncertainty, the cost of living, continuing to go higher, putting more, strain and stress, on organizations like yours and then on families? You're saying, that's exasperating,
Yes.
the problem, even more.
Yeah, exactly.
And so how do you respond, right? How do you respond to support your team members who are, feeling that pressure, more so than ever before, as you mentioned, feeling that fatigue? Are you having to pivot services? Are you having to, adjust, resources to kind of, manage capacity to continue to take care of the folks that you serve?
All of the above. I think part of it is really leaning into partnerships. If one team is at capacity, seeing if we can hand off clients to another team. So our agencies are very good at doing that. Part of it is pivoting services. How do we show up and support? Sometimes it's, are we tweaking things? Are we trying to have a focus in a different way? How are we creating space, not just for survivors, but also for our teams, so that they have a moment to debrief, have a moment to kind of take a breath and be able to continue to show up?
I appreciate that. Separate organizations united, in the same mission to help support survivors. Can you talk a little bit more, about why and how that partnership is so critical to the success of both of your organizations?
Sure. So we've been partners with the Family Justice Center before it was the Family Justice Center, when they were still located in the Pierce County Sheriff's Department. And so we have grown together. The Family Justice Center, we rely on them for, not just, for just support, guidance. We've worked together. We share clients. We collaborate. If there's a client that we can't, maybe fully fund to stay in a motel, we'll lean on the Family Justice Center to support. We've gone over and asked for diapers and wipes and food. So we really just work in tandem together. If for some reason the Family Justice Center has short staff, I'm like, hey, Nadia, send clients to us. We can accept your walk-ins. So we really try to be deliberate in our collaboration because it means so much to our Sisters House. It's one of our strongest, the foundations of a lot of the work we do. So we really want to make sure that we are there to support each other.
I appreciate that. That's so much stronger together.
Yes.
And when the work that you're doing, what is it most important for you to be able to communicate, to survivors right now?
We really want to make sure that, clients know that we are here for them. Culturally specific services, despite what is being said, is very important, is very needed. No, we don't believe that clients fit into a one-size-fits-all, so we really want to specialize and individualize that care for them. So we also offer support groups, legal counseling, mental health therapy, so all the things that we can do for healing, because there's a big focus on healing right now, so we really want to be intentional in helping victims and survivors heal from that trauma so they can go on and live productive lives.
And I appreciate this is October, again, Action Month for domestic violence. How can people get engaged and get involved and be part of that action to help support?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is learn about resources in the community. Pierce County has a really great network of partners. There's our Sisters House, there's us, there's Rebuilding Hope, there's Korean Women's Association, the YWCA, there's so many agencies. So learn about the resources that are there. Learn about those dynamics of domestic violence. Oftentimes when people think of domestic violence, they think of one very particular thing, but they don't understand how it systematically isolates survivors, and it's about making them reliant on the person causing harm. So understand that dynamic and understand how to respond, right? That if someone discloses, be aware of how you respond. Are you a safe person? Tell them they deserve to be safe. Offer to help them connect to resources. So I think a big part is that education piece. And then ask how you can support agencies. Maybe you've got money to donate. Great. If you don't, maybe there's something else, some other time or talent that you can give them. So ask those agencies what they need and how you can support them.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nadia and Kelly, for all that you do to help support in our community. And we will be back in just a few. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.